Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking about the new YSL Allhours Hyperfinish Compact Powder, the Allhours Bronzer, Hyperfinish Bronzer by YSL as well, and then the Guerlain Terracotta Blush, and this is in the shade Light Pink 01. So if you want to see how I got this look and what I think about these products, then just keep watching. When I tell you I'm going to snap on Selfridges, I'm literally going to snap on Selfridges. Can we I just need to talk about this for 1 second because it's insane. So I purchased these products on Selfridges, fine. It was over the limit, minimum spend, so that's fine. They were definitely doing some funny business with that whole thing, as I was told. You get an email saying you have to have a minimum spend or no minimum spend in the email. Then on your profile it says you have to spend $130 Canadian to get free shipping. So I paid for this. They offered me a voucher for £10. And then they said, well, we could cancel your Selfridges like shipping thing, but they weren't going to give me my money back for it, and I paid for it. So why would I get it canceled when they weren't going to give me my money back? And all they gave me was a $10 voucher, which is fine. I tried to use it today to get the new Dior bronzer, the one with like the coral. So I go to make the order, okay? The voucher I see is at the bottom. It's taking $10 off of my purchase. First of all, they said 10 British pounds, which is not $10 Canadian. That actually works out to be more than $10 Canadian, but that's besides the point. So I go to make the order. I put all my information in, where I want it to be shipped. I want it to be shipped to my work address. Put my work address in. I've done this before. I see that the voucher is included in there. Great. It's not over $130, so I'm still paying for the freaking shipping, but I have the $10 coupon, so I'm like, okay, well, at least I'm saving $10 on the shipping. Then I go to checkout. I go to checkout on PayPal because I don't want to use my Visa, because I'm just trying not to use my Visa. I just want it to come out of my account. I put everything through to PayPal. Then it brings me back to the Selfridges site, and usually you would just click like confirm and then you're good, and it went through. Except it didn't go through. It brought me back to the checkout screen again, where I see that the $10 is still there, the voucher is still there. So I try to check out one more time. Same thing happens. Brings me to the PayPal screen. I press OK, confirm purchase. Brings me back to the checkout screen on Selfridges. Now I'm getting pissed. But I see that the voucher's still there, so I'm like, okay, I'm going to try it one more time. And it did the same thing. So now I have 2 emails from PayPal saying that it's confirmed I've made a payment to Selfridges. I go to my order screen in Selfridges. Nothing has gone through. The product is still in my basket. So I'm like, okay, F this. I sign out. I had an issue like this with Hermes one time, and so I'm like, maybe it's just something with PayPal. So I sign out, I sign back in, I try to do the same thing all over again one last time. My voucher's gone. Why is my voucher gone when nothing went through? Okay, so I'm pissed. So I'm done with Selfridges. Like, officially, I'm over it. So I would recommend do not shop with them. They suck. Unless you're in the UK, I'm sure they're probably fine. But if you're Canadian, like, don't even bother with them. Like, I cannot. So there's my rant for the day, and I'm sorry. I wish I was in a little bit of a better mood, but I literally just dealt with all this and they're just driving me crazy. And I know it's first world problems. I know. It's stupid. I don't even know why I get worked up about it, but like, where's my voucher? And why does PayPal say that it went through? Anywho, let's start with the powder. We're just gonna change moods here because I was in a bad one. So this is the Allhours hyperfinish powder, and let's just read a little bit about this. It says it has hyaluronic acid infused and multi-use matte powder. So if you do not like a matte powder, you probably will not like this one. I have the shade 01, I believe. Yeah, 01. It doesn't have a name besides a number. It does contain talc, just to let you know that it does contain talc, and that's pretty much, let's just see. Long wear, natural matte, blurred complexion, all day buildable, sheer to medium coverage, feels weightless, controls shine, and blends seamlessly into skin. Infused with hyaluronic acid, niacinamide, and limetta extracts from YSL Beauty, Eureka Community Gardens. Okay, so let's go in with this. This does look a little tiny bit pink when you look at it. I was hoping it would be a little more neutral, but that's what it looks like. Here it is on the finger. So there's not like a ton of coverage. It does come with a sponge. I'm sorry. Again, I have eczema because it is quite cold here. So I'm just gonna go in with a fluffy powder brush to add this onto the skin. And I have been using this for the last few days. And I have to say, I actually really like it. So again, it does come with a sponge. This is the sponge. I don't want super full coverage, which is why I'm going in with a matte, or with a brush. With a matte brush, what am I saying? I'm just fired up right now. So I would say if you're really dry, you might not like this, but I just feel like it has a blurring quality to it that I really like. I'm used to using my Givenchy, but I have to say the Givenchy does not keep me matte all day. I do usually take my NARS powder and put it in my T-zone. And this one has been really keeping my oils at bay, which I think is great, especially it'll be great for the summertime. I'm not as oily, obviously, as I normally would be. So I'm just gonna take that little sponge and just put a little bit on my nose, because that's where I get my oiliest, is like right here. And I hate having an oily nose. Like I just, ugh. It's one thing if you like highlight it on purpose, but it's like right here where I can't stand that it looks oily. So that is the powder. I am wearing the Prada foundation, and I did not mix it today with the Drunk Elephant drops. I did not mix it because I want you to see the color of the bronzer. And there's not much. Okay. I also have the Guerlain Terracotta Blush, and this is in the shade 01 Light Pink that I will use for you. Keep my thoughts to myself on that one too. But powder, really good, especially if you are an oily person like me. So this is the bronzer. I have 01 Light Sepia. This is what it looks like. And I just to compare, I will do a few comparisons after, but just so you can see, this is Naked Desire by Pat McGrath. And this is Light Sepia. So they look similar, but this one has much more pigment to it. So I will go in first with a fluffier brush. You can see I've kind of already beaten this thing up, and I'll explain why in a moment. Because I get like zero pigment from this. I saw Sophia Sees Beauty use this in a video, and I feel like it showed up better on her, and I thought she had a deeper complexion than I did, like just by a little bit, because usually we're the same, like very slight. I'm getting a very slight bronze. I wish I would have gotten number 2, but now that I see number 2, I feel like it might have been a little bit too warm. There needed to be a 1.5, if I'm being honest, like between fair and light. Okay, so just kind of going around the jawline. Like, I feel like the Cloud Paint bronzer gave me more than this is giving to me. So I will show it to you with a, like, I know, okay, honestly, if you're looking for like the most natural bronzer you're ever gonna get and you're super fair, then this is a good one. But if you're like me and you do like to go like a little step up and a little bit darker, then I just don't think this is going to give you enough coverage. Like, I don't, or not coverage, I don't think it's going to give you enough color. So I'm going in with a fluffy brush. You can see it did pick up quite a bit. This is a Bobbi Brown brush. It's old. It's a bronzer brush, but this is definitely more dense, so it should pack on more pigment. And I know, like, maybe I could be a little bit too heavy-handed and too harsh with the bronzer, but that's just the way I like wearing it. And so, like, I really have, like, I've dug into this thing. You can see there is some kick up here. So, like, it's giving me a little something, but not a lot. So again, if you are any darker than me, do not get this shade. I saw Sonia, I'll have to remember her name and put her down below. She did a review of number 2 and she's deeper complected than me, and she said the same thing about number 2. Like, it was just like not giving her a lot of color, like as much, I guess, warmth as she usually would go for. So now I'm going in on top of that side with the fluffy brush because I just want a little bit more. So if you want literally, if you're fair and you want literally the most natural bronzer you've ever seen, where you like don't even have to blend it out, then maybe this will be right for you. But for me, like, I just wanted just a little bit more. This is what it's looking like. I mean, I feel like in the camera it's giving a little bit more than what it looks like in person. But it's not giving a lot, okay? Just keep this in mind. If you are looking, I think these are in the US now, still not in Canada. Again, I got this off of the company that will not be named. But I have to say, it is very smooth on the skin. Like, that is definitely one good thing about it. It's matte though. If you're looking for, like, it's quite matte. If you're looking for any kind of shine, shimmer, anything like that, sheen, it's not going to give you any kind of sheen. So I feel like it's perfect for somebody like me who is a little bit on the oilier side. But yeah. So now I'm going to go in with the new Terracotta Blush. This is Light Pink 01. And one thing, oh, I forgot to mention, sorry. The bronzer is not scented at all. There is 0 scent to this. For some reason, this is scented. So there is fragrance in this one, 0 fragrance in the bronzer. So I think some people will be happy about that. But for some reason, it's like, why? I'd almost rather have a bronzer that smells than a face powder. Is that just me? Like, I don't know. Strange. But anyways, okay, so we're gonna go in with, I wanted to use a different brush that I haven't used. Need to find a clean blush brush. Probably should have thought about this earlier. Let's try to go in with this. This is so not the right brush for this, but let's go in with a little e.l.f. This is the Putty blush brush. And this is the shade Light Pink. It looked a little bit different to me online than what it looks in person. For some reason, I had in my mind that it was going to be darker. Even though it's called Light Pink, I just had a feeling it was going to be more like, I don't know, mauvey toned. And it's pretty, but like, I feel like with this, you really have to go in. Maybe not with the deeper shades, so don't quote me on that, but just for this shade in particular, Jacqueline did a video with this one, and it looked like she had to go in quite a few times, especially on her. She's deeper complected than me. So it did look like she had to go in a few times, and even I have to for the amount of pigment that I like. I do think that coral one looks so beautiful, and I'd like to try that one, that deep coral. But yeah, I don't know. I'm not, the smell is just, it's a lot. Smells do not bother me, but for some reason this one is just, ooh, highly fragranced. It is like the typical terracotta scent that they have in the bronzers, but I've had my bronzer for longer and I don't really smell it anymore at all. Like, I know you're probably like, okay, stop with the blush already, but I'm trying to build it up quite a bit so you can really see what it looks like. Yeah, it's like, to me, for my preference, I don't know, I just feel like the Patrick Ta blush really just like gave me what I was looking for. This one, I'm just surprised I have to build it up so heavily to get the amount of pigment that I'm looking for. And again, it could just be because it is specifically a light shade, but I'm just surprised it takes that much. Okay, so I'm going to add, let's go in with the usual Enlighten by Rare Beauty. And I always just tap it on my hand first. I like wearing this shade with my more like cool toned blushes, and then I usually go for my House Labs highlight when I am wearing my like warmer toned blushes. And then I just kind of like to like blend it together, just so the highlight doesn't look too harsh, because this one can build up quickly. Okay, so there is the face powder. I don't know why I'm red here. The bronzer and the blush. What do you think? So that bronzer, like, I really built up, but I do feel like it is showing, but not to the extent that I usually like my bronzer. And maybe you will disagree, and maybe you'll say your usual bronzer's too harsh, this looks better, and that could be true, but you know, it's personal preference. Sorry, I forgot to put my earrings on. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and finish off the rest of my face, and then I will talk about I'm sure you already know how I feel about these products, but I will come back and give you a little summary of how I feel about everything. I'm just going to talk to you a bit while I'm doing the rest of my makeup, because I just got weird stuff on my mind. So I'm using the YSL Lash Clash in the shade, doesn't say, but it's the brown one. And I use the Backstage Eye Palette in the Smoky Essentials. And yeah, that's about it. So another thing that drives me bonkers is, why do products go on Selfridges first? Why don't they go on like the actual website? Like, why wouldn't YSL Canada and US have had the bronzers before Selfridges? It's the actual brand. Like, it doesn't make sense to me. It's so weird. And also, what is happening with the spring collection for Chanel? Is it ever coming? What's happening? I've been like refreshing it every day because I'm a crazy person. Because I want the blush. And it's there, but it says contact us. So I did. Man, I sound like the most Karen of all Karens, and I'm really not. I sometimes am, but I'm like, for the most part, I'm not. Like, I'm nice. I'm just like, hi. Just wondering when these will be on the site. I see that they're here, but you can't add anything to your bag yet. So those weren't there like 2 days ago. So I know that they're gonna be, but I thought today was the day. I thought March 1st. Or sorry, it's the 2nd, but I thought today or yesterday was the day. That these were on the site. What's happening? I feel like this might be drying out a little bit, but that is the mascara. I might try to put a tiny bit more in the inner corner here. But yeah, it's just so weird to me. Like, Dior doesn't have those bronzers on the site. It's like, why are you not the first to get these? Like, the actual company. But who knows? Maybe I'm just being a crazy person. Probably. It's just frustrating. Especially with all these, like, limited edition. Get it right now. And it's like, I hate the, like, panic that it creates in people. Like, apparently people are selling that Rivage quad for like astronomical amounts, like $300. Like, when I sell stuff on Poshmark, I sell it for less than I paid. And maybe I'm stupid for doing that. Like, I have a Mediterranean quad and I'm like, should I sell it? But I also don't want to like rip people off, you know what I mean? So I have an extra Mediterranean quad and I have an extra, what's it called? Éclat de nuit. But I feel like I'll wear that one more. I don't know. They're both really nice. Okay, so right now this is just Nude Truffle. So yeah, that's what's up. It's just crazy. Oh, also, if I look uncomfortable sitting on the chair, it's because I am. I was holding my dog the other day and I was going to take her outside. And there was like a super full elevator, so I'm like, oh, I'll just take the stairs, whatever. Well, guess what? I fell down the stairs hard, and they're concrete stairs. And I was holding her in my arms. And I think I was like more freaked out that I was going to drop her or that she got hurt, that I was like holding her up in the air like Simba. And yeah, I literally fell so hard on my butt. And you know when you fall and it was like, like I went down like 5 stairs. It's funny now, but my butt, there's a bruise like this big and it's black. Like it's dark. So I'm a little uncomfortable sitting on my butt. I just use Haze from Anastasia, Beverly Hills, and then Gucci Carol Beige, the matte shade, and I'm gonna go do my brows off camera and I'll be back. Okay, brows are done. Let's do a couple comparisons to the, ooh, this is not good. Okay, so this is 00 in Laguna, so I'll just show you what that looks like. Let's maybe do it on my arm, which is not going to be as scaly. So I'm gonna do a couple passes over top of this. So this is Laguna 00, a little bit warmer, I would say. This is Pat McGrath Naked Desire, and this was my lightest bronzer. And that one I like, but I do have to kind of go over it a few times to get the desired look. So I feel like I will go through that one quite quickly. And then this is the YSL. Which is most definitely the lightest one of all. Right there. So, and that was built up a few times. Let's even build it up some more. So does it have kind of like a yellowy tone to it? Is it just me? But it's definitely like cooler tone than I would say the NARS Laguna. But yeah, I mean, there's not a ton of color to it. Like this on my face was built up quite a few times. I feel like this with a cream bronzer underneath would probably be good, but as you can see, like I've really made a dent already because I've been kind of like pushing into it heavily. So I feel like I'll probably go through that one pretty fast, but it's growing on me a little bit. Like I do feel like it does look more natural compared to a lot of other bronzers that I have, and not too warm. It's definitely more like goldeny, I would say, peachy golden. Tell me what you think. I do like it. Like I like the actual consistency of the bronzer. I like that it's matte. I do feel it has kind of like blurring properties to it. Same with the powder and same with the blush. Like I don't feel greasy by the end of the day. I've worn this all day and I don't feel greasy. That powder I think is really awesome. I wish it wasn't fragranced. It doesn't really bother me that much, but I feel like it will bother some people. And same thing with the Terracotta Blush. It's pretty and like I'm not mad that I have it, but if I had the choice to buy it again, I probably wouldn't. I have similar shades to this. It looked a little bit more unique online in my opinion, which is why I think it's kind of important to sometimes see the product in person. Same with the bronzer. Like if I had seen it in person, I would have been like, okay, it's too light, clearly. But I mean, I could make it work and I'm going to use it. I was going to maybe sell it, but I think I'm going to keep it. So yeah, I would say powder 100%. I would just say be careful if you don't like fragrance. Bronzer, maybe go up one shade than you're thinking you should get because it is very lightly, not that it's lightly pigmented because it is pigmented, but like the shade is just really light. So, and you can build it, but you know. And then the blush, I would say go with a color because it's not that like, wow, oh my gosh, it's so amazing. Like it's pretty, it's blurring on the skin, but I have a lot of blushes that are like that. So I think go for a shade that you think is more unique. I feel like that deep nude looks really nice, and same with that deep coral. Like that one's kind of got me in a chokehold a little bit. But yeah, I hope that you enjoyed this video, and I'm sorry it was a little bit grumpy to start off with, but you know, Selfridges. But I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you'd like to see next. Thank you. Bye.